Section 3. At Home in the Evening.
Chapter 20. Returning Home. To an apartment. Dan got back to his building. He checked his mailbox and took out his mail. Then he took an elevator up to his floor. He walked down the hall to his apartment. He opened his door and went inside.
Hi, Pam. I'm back.
Hi, Dan.
Taking an elevator. Pressing the up button. Waiting for the elevator. Getting on the elevator. Choosing a floor. Getting off the elevator. To a house. I got back to my house. I walked up the steps to my front door. I unlocked it with my house key, and then opened the door by turning the doorknob. I set my bag down. I hung my coat up in the front closet, and took off my shoes. I picked up my mail. Then I went into the living room, and checked for messages on the answering machine.
You have 3 messages.
Then I changed clothes. I took off my work clothes and changed into some casual clothes. Chapter 21. Making Dinner 1. Making a salad. Paul rinsed some lettuce by running water over it, and drained it in a colander. He also rinsed some tomatoes and cucumbers, and sliced them with a knife on a cutting board. He mixed the lettuce and the cucumber in a salad bowl, and laid the tomato slices on top. Then he sprinkled some grated cheese on the salad. He poured some dressing on his salad. Chapter 22. Making Dinner 2. Preparing Vegetables. Kate peeled some carrots and sliced them. She also chopped up some broccoli. She threw the stalk away and rinsed the broccoli. She put some water in a saucepan and put a steamer basket inside. Then she put the vegetables in the basket. She put a lid on the saucepan and lit the burner under it. The water boiled and steamed the vegetables. Chapter 23. Making Dinner 3. Making spaghetti. Kate diced an onion and fried it with some ground beef in a frying pan. As the beef and onion mixture fried, she stirred it. When the meat was brown, she turned off the burner. She poured the fat off into a can. She heated 2 cans of tomato sauce in a saucepan. She added the mixture of beef and onions and stirred it into the sauce with some spices. When it started to boil, she turned down the heat and let the sauce simmer. In another pan, she boiled some water. She put some spaghetti into the boiling water and boiled it until it was tender. In a colander, she drained the spaghetti. After putting the spaghetti on a plate, she ladled some sauce over it. Chapter 24. Making Dinner 4. Cooking rice. Paul measured out 1 cup of rice and poured it into a pot. To rinse the rice, he put some water in the pot. He poured off the water to get rid of the dirt and husks. Then he measured out 2 cups of clean water and poured it into the pot. He put a lid on the pot and heated the water. When it started boiling, he turned down the flame. After about 15 minutes, he checked the rice. Let's see if this is ready. He decided it was ready to eat. Yep, done. Chapter 25. Eating Dinner. Paul and Kate set the table. Everyone sat down at the table. They put their napkins on their laps. Paul helped himself to some salad and passed the serving dish to Kate. "Pass the salad, please." Then they helped themselves to the food. As they ate, they talked. "So, where did you go today?" "Nowhere special." Paul had a second helping of spaghetti. "I'll have a bit more of this." After the main course, they had some dessert.
Ice cream. Looks good.
Chapter 26. Clearing the Table. After everyone was done, Paul and Kate offered to clear the table.
Paul and I will clear up.
"Yeah, the rest of you just sit and relax." They stacked up the dirty dishes and carried them to the kitchen. They took the serving dishes off the table and put the leftovers into containers, which they put into the refrigerator. They scraped the scraps from the plates into the garbage. Then they wiped the table off and threw the scraps and crumbs from the table into the garbage. Chapter 27. Doing dishes. Paul put the plug into the drain in the sink. Then he filled the sink with water. He put some dish soap into the water. He washed the dirty dishes. He scrubbed some very dirty dishes. Then he rinsed the dishes. He put the wet dishes in the dish rack, where the water dripped off them. Then he pulled the plug from the sink, and the dirty water went down the drain. He dried the dishes with a towel, and then put the dishes away. Chapter 28. Relaxing at Home 1. Playing a CD. I chose a CD from the shelf. Holding the disc at the edge, I took it out of the case. Then I loaded the disc into the tray. I picked up the remote and punched in the number of the track I wanted to listen to. I listened to the music CD. Chapter 29. Relaxing at Home 2. Using a personal cassette player. I put a cassette into the player. I plugged the earphones into the jack and put them on. Then I started the tape. I adjusted the volume, turned it up to make the music louder, turned it down to make the music softer. When I was done listening, I took the tape out and put it back in the case. Chapter 30. Relaxing at Home 3. Reading. Reading a book. Pam opened the book to her bookmark. She turned the pages as she read. When she saw a word she didn't know,
Bogus? What does that mean?
she looked it up in a dictionary. When she finished reading, she closed the book. Reading a magazine. Pam picked up the latest issue of Everyone magazine. She looked at some of the ads. Then she flipped through the magazine until she found an interesting article. She read the article and looked at the pictures. Chapter 31. Relaxing at Home 4. Watching television. Tom picked up the remote for the TV and turned the TV on. A game show was on. "Now for $53, what's the name of?" Tom didn't want to watch it. "That's boring." So he used the remote to change channels. He turned up the volume so he could hear better. During a commercial, he went to the kitchen for a snack. He watched the news, and when it ended, "That's the end of the news." he turned the TV off. Chapter 32. Relaxing at Home 5. Watching a video. Jenny rented a video from a video store. "There you are, ma'am." At home, she took the tape out of the case. With the remote, she switched to the video setting and turned the VCR on. She loaded the video into it and started the tape. She and Tom watched the video. To see something again, they rewound the tape.
I'd like to see that again.
Jenny paused it when Tom left for a minute. At the end of the video, she stopped the tape, rewound, and ejected it. Later, she returned it to the store. Chapter 33. Babysitting. Tom babysat his cousins, took care of them while their parents were gone. Tom's aunt and uncle dropped the children off at Tom's house.
Bye, kids. Be good.
"They'll be fine, Aunt Rita." Tom took them to a playground. Back at Tom's house, they played with blocks, drew pictures with crayons, and put a puzzle together. Tom changed the baby's diaper and put him to bed in the crib. The other children took a bath. Tom read them a story, and they watched a cartoon on TV. Later, their parents picked the children up.
Come on, kids. Time to go. Thanks, Tom.
"Sure, anytime." Chapter 34. Going to bed. When it got late, Jenny yawned. She said good night to her parents.
Good night, Jen. Good night, Mom, Dad.
She went upstairs to her room and changed into her nightgown. She hung some of her clothes up in the closet and put her dirty clothes in the laundry basket. She brushed her teeth, washed her face, and used the toilet. After turning on her bedside lamp, she turned off the room light. She pulled back the covers and got into bed. She set her alarm clock and put it on her nightstand. She read in bed for a while. Finally, she turned off the lamp, lay down, and fell asleep.